Welcome, everybody, to today's podcast of Inside the Locker Room, episode 19. With your co host today, Dope Ass Jeff and Big Time Tony. We won't be having Old Dog on with us today. So, other than that, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I get to stress out about my Steelers. You got to stress out earlier about your Giants, but they came out on top. So with a big win, they definitely should have won against the Bills, but we won't talk about that. I mean, we can if you want to, but
Yeah, actually we can because there was a few things that I wasn't happy with. But it wasn't the coaching; it was the decision making by Tyrod Taylor. That cost us points in the end of the first half as well as end of the game. So we'll get into that when we do our recap and stuff like that, or if we're just gonna throw it in there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get in there, especially because even as a non-Giants fan, I still was the play calling and the decision making I was questioning for sure.
I was more questioning, like I said. Some of the play calling I did question, but a lot of it was some of the decision making by Taylor. And I don't know if it was because of Russ, it's him not used to being as a full-time quarterback, just used to being a backup. But
I don't know. He's been in the league long enough. I think he should. In that situation to know what to do.
And that's what was irritating me.
All right. We'll talk about that later.
So you ready to get into the show, or is there anything you want to?
No Owen. It's somewhat of a developing story. He may no longer
break it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I hope he's not going to get mad or upset with me. No more Owen for the podcast, so it'll be down to a two-man crew. He just texted us about an hour ago saying that he doesn't feel himself while doing it. He's not really enjoying it anymore, which is fine. I'm glad that he at least admitted it and didn't just force himself to do this and look uninterested. But that's Owen will no longer be on as far as we know. I mean, it could change, but as of right now, he's no longer going to be with us.
And I want to welcome a new viewer, Dakota.
Yeah, what's up, Dakota?
And I was going to say one last thing as far as the Owen situation. Is like I told him, I'm not going to force you to do something you're not feeling uncomfortable with. Because we wouldn't want the same thing to happen to us.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure, hopefully he is watching at least. We still want to wish you the best, Owen. You still going to, if you want to come back, you still have a seat. Like me and Jeff discussed, for us, this is just like a release for our weekly stress. So, I mean, we're going to still keep doing the podcast. Those of you who love hearing us and going at it, at least you're still going to have two of us here.
Yeah.
Hey,
yes,
Brian.
Did win. Hey, Brian. Or, hey, Dad. I don't want to say Brian, but hey, Dad. Hey, Brian. Steelers won, thank God. I don't need to worry about that anymore.
There you go. There's your stress release.
It's gone. All right, I can turn that off now. Perfect. All right, but that's it. Owen, we wish you the best. And again, yes, you're always welcome back whenever you want.
We're basically just going to put them on a minute of leave. That's it.
We told him no more calling off, and he did it again. So I mean, yeah, he's on that administrative. Yeah, Lions got their asses whooped. We'll talk about that soon. That's the surprising game of the day to me.
Yes. So we're going to get into our first topic.
Yep.
Actually, this was a topic we were supposed to discuss last week, but I forgot to put it on the front sheet. So we're going to put it on. It's on this one. It's about the shoe company Reebok. For those of you who don't know, they have shut down for a while their basketball part of their company for basketball shoes. Now they have reopened it back up. And it's a surprise to how they did it. They named a president of the basketball division, and that president is Shaquille O'Neal. The vice president is Allen Iverson. So basically, their two biggest shoe sellers, when they were signed to Reebok, basically they have put in charge of rebuilding their basketball shoe program. Jeff, what's your take on that?
I think it's cool. I don't have an issue with it. But it does make sense that they want to build it back up, and Shaq and AI were the two main guys that were really a main selling point of Reebok. Reebok had been bought out by Adidas and was a subsidiary of the company for 15 years, but was sold in 2022 and acquired by the Authentic Brands Group. And Reebok pumps could be coming back. So
possibility.
So yeah, but I think it's cool. I could see more NBA athletes signing to them just because of Shaq and AI being the president and vice president. So I think it's very cool. It's a very interesting thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's definitely very cool to see another shoe Reebok come back.
So I think the way they have it set up is Shaq, as president of the basketball side, will be handling, I think, getting players to sign, while Iverson will be handling the creative part, I believe, of it.
Okay.
Like I said, that was something we were supposed to have discussed last week, and it slipped my mind. And but it was still a shocker that that was even announced.
Yes.
But yes, the Reebok pump may be coming back.
Yeah, so yeah. I feel like AI is the creative genius because Shaq is kind of I don't think it's too creative, not to mean to him. Shaq, don't hurt me. But I don't know, it's now 2023, going on to 2024. It could look so much better than what they did back in the day.
It's a possibility. So our next topic, unless you have anything else to say.
No, I'm good.
Is also basketball related. Andre Iguodala announces his retirement after 19 seasons.
Congrats to Iggy on a successful 25. That is true. Iggy, four-time NBA champion, two-time all defensive team. He had 13,968 points. That's one incredibly long career. Now LeBron is the oldest player officially in the NBA. Now with Iggy retiring, a successful 19-year career. Started with the 76ers, went to the Nuggets, then had a stint with the Warriors, went to the Heat, and then back to the Warriors where he ended up ending his career. So a nice, successful career for Iggy, putting it down, and he's doing podcasting himself. with Evan Turner. So I've been seeing them pop up on my recommendations.
If I'm not mistaken, he also had a very, very brief stint in Memphis.
Yeah, it was Memphis, and then that's when we traded someone to go get him and Jay Crowder from Memphis. Yes, you're right.
Because he wasn't happy that he was in Memphis.
Yeah.
I think he was traded there from Golden State.
Yeah, I can't remember who it would have been that they would have even gotten.
So, but yeah, I mean, the second AI, because we all know the original AI.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of was funny that both was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you said, you know, he had a. I mean, can you call it a Hall of Fame career?
I mean, potentially.
I don't think he'll be like a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No.
I'm looking at probably maybe like a second or third year Hall of Famer is when he'll probably get in. But yeah, he is worthy of the. He was, I mean, basically he with Philly and Golden State, I think is where he had his best two playing careers.
Yeah, and he won Finals MVP, and just the dual threat that he was back in the day. He was so explosive that he could just get to the rim and dunk on anyone he wanted to. In the slam dunk contest a few times, and again on the offense and on the defensive end, he was a two-time All-Defensive Team. Racked up 1,765 steals and 633 blocks in his entire career. So, just the fact that he was a dual threat, I think, is an easy way of why he's going to make it. Again, a Finals MVP, four-time NBA champ. One of the best dual threats we've had in the league in a while.
And I agree. I mean, like I said, we all agree he's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. If he is, I'll be shocked.
Mm.
I mean, it possibly he can be, depending on that Hall of Fame class.
Yeah.
If there's nobody that stands out, then he can be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It all depends on who's going in the year he goes in. Anything else on it, bud?
Nope. Just congrats, Ziggy, on a great career, and hopefully the podcasting goes well for him. I mean, I know it will.
Everybody's getting into podcasting.
Yeah.
Next on the topic has become a staple for during the football season. I'll pick a recap for week 6.
It's a woeful week for me. Woeful.
As you can tell by Jeff's reaction. It wasn't one of those brighter moments.
No. Yeah. We'll be getting to a few games, yes, that no one got right. The Jags and the Saints on Thursday Night Football. You and Owen picked the Jags because I didn't know what Jags team was going to show up. I picked the Saints just because they were at home. Got that one wrong. Again, yes, this game, 98% of America, I believe, picked the Bills. And the Patriots beat the Bills, which we talk about later in the Week 7 recap of all the NFL games.
Yeah.
The Bills lose to Mac Jones and the New England Patriots. So we all got that one wrong, of course. And big time Tony, your Giants with the W. Me and Owen, of course, picked the Commanders. You guys win against the Commanders. Well, again, we'll be talking about that later. So Tony is the only one who got that one right out of the three of us. Tony, again, the only one who got it right out of the three of us with the Falcons. Me and Owen picked the Bucks and Baker Mayfield on the last second field goal. Is how the Falcons won. So Tony Started 3-1. And then this game, interesting. Bears beat the Raiders. So me and Tony got that one wrong. Owen got that one right.
The fuck?
Yeah. The Browns beat the Colts. We got that one right, just barely. So I almost started 0-7. That's bad. I almost started 0-7 this week. The Lions get destroyed by the Ravens, so we all got that one wrong because we did not expect.
Yeah, we'll discuss that one too.
Yes. My Steelers picked up the dub against the Los Angeles Rams. Me and Owen picked the Steelers. Tony, you picked the Rams, so you did get that one wrong. And we all picked the Seahawks against the Cardinals. We got that one right. And the other two games that are going on, the Chiefs are beating the Chargers 17-31, and the Packers are losing 17-19 with 2 minutes left with the ball on the Denver 44. So those two games are the last two. Me and Tony. All right, so we all picked Packers and Chiefs. So that's what we're all banking on.
So yeah. The only reason why, I mean, like I told you last week with the Steelers and Rams game, I just didn't trust your offensive coordinator.
No, I neither. I still picked them though.
So yeah,
our defensive coordinator is our offensive coordinator, I think, because our defense scores more than our offense anymore. So yeah, that's all the games. And for the late window, Dolphins, Eagles, I believe we all picked Dolphins. We might have. I don't know. I can't see that one, but I know I picked Dolphins.
I picked Dolphins.
And I believe Owen picked Dolphins. Yes, he did. And we should have all picked Kenny Baby Hands Pickett. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one. That's a good one. I like that one, Dakota. I do like that one. And we all picked the Niners against Minnesota, even though the Niners are injury-ridden right now. They still have a lot more weapons out there than the Vikings do. That's that. Oh, I'm so excited for this one. I'm so excited for this one.
Wait, not yet. This one's your favorite. That would be the next topic. This is your favorite topic that you love doing, NFL injury updates.
Yep.
Because your favorite player gets to be put on the list.
This guy, I can't. Anthony Richardson potentially going to get season-ending surgery on his shoulder. For people just tuning in for the first time, this guy, Anthony Richardson, he's been on my list. I have a list of injuries that happen every week. He's been on my list, I think, every week other than one. I could have the whole Lions roster on there too, yes. But, yeah, Anthony Richardson might have season-ending surgery, is really considering it, just to not risk any injury, like any further injury when he comes back off of the IR. Okay. Now that he's done.
Yeah, you said the same thing last week.
I did. I said the same thing last week. I don't want to see his name on the list anymore. All right. There were 6 teams on a bye this week. The Jets, the Texans, the Panthers, Cowboys, Titans, and Bengals. Big teams on bye this week. Screwed us in fantasy. Some of us in fantasy, along with all the injuries that happened. So it was a rough week for fantasy owners this week. It was very, very tough. Starting off with a Detroit running back, David Montgomery, who with a rib injury, he was out for Baltimore. I didn't really get any of the injuries during the game. So if Dakota has them, then he could just list them out in the chat because I don't have any more other than that one. Baltimore safety Marcus Williams with a hamstring injury, he was out versus Detroit. Buffalo's defensive tackle Ed Oliver with a toe injury, he was out versus New England. New England safety Kyle Duggar with a toe injury, he was out, or he was questionable versus Baltimore or versus Buffalo, and he played. Jimmy G with a back injury. He was out for Chicago. So it was the battle of the backups there in Chicago, if you guys don't know. And
if I would have known Brian Hoyer was going to start, I would have fucking picked the Bears too.
I knew that it was either going to be him or the rookie, and I didn't really care because I just thought that the Bears were that bad. Las Vegas cornerback Nate Hobbs, ankle injury, was out versus Chicago. Justin Fields with that thumb injury, he was out versus Las Vegas. Their two running backs, Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert, were out. Herbert was placed on IR. Chicago cornerback Terrell Smith with an illness, he was out, and their safety Eddie Jackson was out with a foot injury. So they had a list of injuries there in Chicago. Pat Freiermuth with a hamstring injury, he was out once again versus the Rams. But Deontay Johnson came back off his hamstring injury against the Rams, and I didn't see what he did today, but I guess we'll see when we do the recap because I didn't watch the game. Kyren Williams with an ankle injury, he was out versus Pittsburgh, and he's now been placed on IR, so he'll be out for the next 4 weeks. New undrafted free agent running back. With hip injury, which is all right, thank you, Dakota. I did not know that. We obviously pray for that player to be all right and okay. That it's hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah, that was one game I turned from the minute it was 14-0 within the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, Indianapolis tight end Taylon Granson with a concussion injury, he was out versus the Browns. Cleveland Deshaun Watson with the shoulder, he did play. He took one hit and then he left the game. So then it was PJ Walker for the remainder of the game versus Indianapolis.
Yeah, I was watching that game.
Yeah, that was the shootout of the day, and it was a surprising shootout to me. I was not expecting that game to be that crazy. And the Dakota, that just needs a massage. Dakota's got jokes. All right.
Let's not go there.
No. Arizona safety Jalen Thompson, hamstring, he was out versus Seattle. Seattle's wide receiver DK Metcalf out with a rib/hip injury, and some people think it could be because of how many penalties he has. They're trying to just say he has these injuries because they're trying to fix his discipline issues, that he has the most penalties in the NFL right now, which is surprising. He's a wide receiver and he has the most penalties. Just because he can't control himself right now, as far as any personal foul.
It's weird seeing wide receivers rack up penalties like he does.
Yeah, he just can't. Like one little thing is said to him, and then he freaks out. And then he's
a hothead.
Yeah, I mean, he has a pacifier as a mouthpiece for a reason. I mean, he's a baby. One little thing gets said to him or about him, and he gets all upset about it, and then he gets that 15 yards added on. Philadelphia, they are banged up in the secondary. Reed Blankenship with a rib injury, he's out versus Miami tonight, and cornerback Bradley Roby with a shoulder injury, he's out versus Miami. So expect Miami to take advantage of that and pass all over the field. Bijan, I did get a tweet about he wasn't feeling all that well, and that's why he did not play too much for the Falcons.
Yeah, something in his stomach.
Yeah, he was not feeling well at all. All right, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey, oblique injury. He's looking very likely to play versus Minnesota. Also, OBJ didn't get for headbutt injury. Jacobs taking out the game. Yeah, I actually did see that Jerry Jacobs left the game with an injury. So the Dakotas are a little insider on the Lions, which is good. Now we have an insider on the Lions. Debo was ruled out with a shoulder injury. He's going to be out until after their bye week. So it's this week, next week, and then they have a bye week, and then he'll be back after that bye week. Trent Williams, I believe, is out. I heard he's either crushed or out versus Minnesota. Jerry Greenlaw with a hamstring injury is questionable versus Minnesota. Thank you, Dakota. Your New York Giants had 2 injuries. Daniel Jones with a neck injury. He was out versus Washington. Didn't matter. You guys get the dub anyway. You guys look a lot better with Tyrod Taylor playing anyway. Again, we will talk about that soon. New York Giants cornerback Adoree Jackson also with a neck injury. He was out versus Washington. That's all I got. That's all the injuries.
Alrighty.
Now I can get excited.
Next topic. Roger Goodell gets 3 years extension as NFL commissioner. I'm gonna let you go first, Jeff. So I don't take because I'm gonna probably take up quite a bit of time for this one. So I'm gonna leave you with some time to discuss it first.
You'd be surprised. I don't really have much to say about it. Roger Goodell. I mean, I'm sure you'll dive into the main reason why you don't like this decision. The whole London thing that happened a few weeks ago with the Falcons staying there and then the Bills having to go there, and how unfair that was. And
it was actually the Jags, not the Falcons.
The Jags. I know that the Jags and the Falcons played. Yes, the Jags stayed, and the Bills came over late, and it was a whole time schedule mix-up. The Bills looked groggy in that game, and the players admitted that they were tired because of the late time getting there, and the Jags had so much of an advantage being there for over a week. So that's just one thing just this year, and I'm sure Tony's gonna go dive deeper into it. And yes, I believe that's what Tony's gonna get into. Again, I've been waiting all week for this. I've been waiting all week to hear Tony's rant about Roger Goodell. We heard a little bit of it a few weeks ago with the whole London thing. So again, I don't have much to say. I would like to change, honestly, because I feel like it's some of the same NFL that we get every year. I would like something different, a different person, a different mind in there. But no, it's Roger Goodell once again for another 3 years. Now, Tony, you can take it away. I've been waiting for a while for this.
Okay, where should we start? Now, for those of you who have following my podcast, knows I am not a major fan of Roger Goodell. Do I consider him the worst commissioner in football? No, probably not. Is he up there? Yes. Some of the decisions this man makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. Yeah, I heard the rant, and Jeff just reinformed you if you didn't hear it, about how he allowed the Jaguars to stay in London and had the Bills come over, which I believe they didn't leave until I believe it was either Thursday or Friday night.
Friday morning,
to get to London. Which is, if I'm not mistaken, it's almost like a 16-hour flight. I'm not 100% sure. But that's here, near, or there. And then some of the things that allow him to have power over just doesn't fucking make sense. No commissioner should be allowed to have power over suspensions of players. We are getting players get suspended for some of the stupidest shit. And if they're not getting suspended, they're getting fined for some of the dumbest shit.
Tyreek Hill got fined what, like $15,000 for his celebration last week with the phone when he flipped in the air with the phone. I think.
Yeah, for his backflip selfie. Yeah.
Yeah, he got fined $15,000 for that
because he used a prop that's not NFL regulated.
It was a funny, cool celebration. Come on. And here you have that 15-yard penalty tacked onto it. Like, yeah, that's just one dumb one that I just thought of.
So, some of the stuff, like if their knee pads, knees or pants, or like if a half an inch don't cover their knee, they're getting fined for it. Like, seriously? Air thrusting should be illegal.
Depends how many pumps, I guess. I mean, like, I saw one thing. I don't know who did the air thrust, but if they did it one more time, it would the rest of it he would have flagged it. So I mean, you give it 1, 2, and that's it. But yeah, if you, maybe.
They're also getting fined for perfect example. We all know how the NFL is a big advocate against breast cancer, where they dedicate a whole month where you can wear pink and everything like that. I forgot which player it was, but he apparently had just lost. So he had lost all his aunts to breast cancer. And last year, I think it was in either November or late December, he lost his mother to breast cancer. So he asked the NFL if it was okay for him to wear the pink shoes for just that game, as well as breast cancer bracelets. And Goodell and the NFL told him no, because it's only for that 1 month that they're allowed to wear that stuff. Are you fucking serious? So you call yourself a league that stands up for breast cancer, but you only do it for the month of October. And now we got to deal with another 3 years of this jackass. I don't know if I can deal with another 3 years of this asshole. But I might not have a choice. Unless you guys start a petition. Name me commissioner of the NFL.
Okay.
We'll make it have. We'll put the fun back in the NFL. I'm just annoyed with Goodell and his stupid. I guess you want to say regimen of how he tries to control the NFL. I mean, there's certain things that he has done that I have agreed with, as far as, player safety. But other than that, yeah, I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they advertise it a lot. Belichick would be more surprising.
Surprising, yes. Puzzling. I'm going to pick Goodell's more puzzling. Just because I don't like the fucker.
because I looked up some things why people would hate him. Some controversial decisions he made, supporting the Washington Redskins, Ray Rice suspension, Sean Payton suspension, closing NFL Europe, Spygate, replacement referees, punishing celebrations, Ezekiel Elliott suspension, Deflategate, and Deshaun Watson suspension.
Yeah, the Deshaun Watson suspension. He should have just let Ray Rice back in the league as well.
Yeah, I know.
But enough about that jackass.
We got another 3 years, Tony.
Yeah. Fuck!
I know, not unless you have something to say about it, but as of right now, we have 3 years left with him.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. Because he's making the owner's money.
Yep.
And that's all that matters to them. All right, our next topic, Week 7 week recap. This, folks, is where you're really going to get the rants.
Yeah. You'll get a bit of a Week 6 rant. Again, we said that we were going to talk about it for a little bit. The Giants and the Bills. The Giants lose on Sunday Night Football last week, 9-14. They could have easily beat the Bills there. They were up 9-0 going into halftime, or 6-0. They're up by 2 field goals.
It was 9-0, and they could have made it
12. Yeah. Or it could have they end up running the ball on the 1 yard line with 12 seconds and no timeouts, and they couldn't get back up on time and do another snap. But yeah, you can take it away if you want. But yeah, they lose 9-14, but they bounce back today.
So for those of you who did catch the game, if you've seen the end of the first half, what the Giants like to do is, especially in situations like that, they'll send in 2 plays. The main play usually will be a passing play, and the second play, depending on the look of the defense, allows the quarterback to take off to the run. I don't know what Tyrod Taylor was looking at defensively, but he checked off to the run, which as obviously was not the best idea because Barkley got stuffed immediately. And then, if he was watching it right before the went to the halftime show, you could see Brian Daboll literally telling Tyrod Taylor, "You should have ran the play as called, not check off." He was hot because that did cost the Giants points. Whether it was 3 points or 6 points, it still cost the Giants points. Because when you're that close with 12 seconds left, at the end of the half, you need to come away with points. And plus, he was getting the ball back at the beginning of the second half. So you really could have extended that game beyond reach for the Bills to really have to try. And defensively, they shut down the Bills.
Yes.
And then when it was 14-9, once again, we was back in that same fucking situation at the end of the game. Same exact spot. And the same thing happened again. But this time, he actually stayed with the pass call and could not complete the pass.
I do think that was holding, though. I saw the replay. They held him. But I don't they're not going to give the offense 2 chances because they just called the pass interference, or even let the ball be down at that 1 yard line. So they're not going to call 2 unless it's blatantly obvious. And I guess it was obvious enough, so they didn't call it. And game ended.
Which, I mean, we've seen a lot of games in that way.
Yes. But I mean, yeah, if you think at the end of the first half, it's 12 seconds left. You can get 3-4 at least pass plays off. So at least try and get in the end zone other than running the ball. They say, yeah, you don't get it. That's still 3 points. It's now 12-0. The rest of the game plays out how it does. It's 12-14. At the end of the game, you don't have to go for a touchdown then. You just kick the field goal, 15-14, you guys win and you walk out of there. That's it.
Not only that, if you run the ball with 12 seconds left and no timeouts, do you really think the defense is going to get up off of the player they tackle right away?
Yeah, like they're going to hold them down. No, they're like, oh, this turf field's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. It was a debacle at the end of the first half, which to me cost the game. Because if they weren't there at all, to me, I think they win anyway.
So I agree.
And just to round off last week, Cowgirls beat the Chargers 20-17 on Monday Night Football. Really wanted the Chargers to win, but they didn't by a field goal. All right, now on to week 7. The Jags and Saints played on Thursday Night Football. 31-24, Jags beat the Saints in New Orleans. Again, I didn't know what Jags team was going to show up, really, because they've been pretty inconsistent this year.
Yes, they have.
Trevor Lawrence was up in the air as far as playing with that knee injury. He went 20 for 29, 204 yards and a touchdown. Derek Carr had an all-right game. He threw 55 times, 301 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kamara had an all-right game. Kamara had 12 receptions for 91 yards. Kirk had 6 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. So, and the Saints fall to 3-4, and the Jags improve to 5-2 on the season.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it all season long. With the Jags, we don't know which. They're like the Ravens. We don't know which team is going to show up. But I also know when, for some reason, when Jacksonville plays away from home, they seem to play a little bit differently than they do at home. When they're at home, it's like, yeah, you're going to get the bad Jacksonville, but when they're on the road, you're going to get the one that plays their heart out.
Mm-hmm. Which it should be almost the opposite. You should play not great on the road, but then play excellent at home. But it's flipped in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And Calvin Ridley only had 1 reception for 5 yards, so that hurt a lot of fantasy owners to only get 1 reception for 5 yards for him. All right.
A lot of these big name receivers aren't getting
I mean, a lot of them are out. A lot of them are out, too. I think Amon-Ra's been banged up this year. Justin Jefferson's on IR. Deebo Samuel, he's out again. Mike Williams again. I mean, they're just all getting injured. Metcalf was injured again. The only one I can even think of right now, Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill. Like, those are the two that I'm like, all right, yeah, they're healthy. Chase, again, they've finally done something with the offense. They've switched it around. But yeah, all the big names that we're used to hearing is like somewhat quiet this year. Even Diggs. I mean, Diggs having a good year, but today against the Patriots, I don't think really did too much. Yes, he had a receiving touchdown, but up until then, he wasn't really doing much or anything against that defense, which again we'll talk about very soon. Because it's
even last week when they played the Giants, he wasn't that much of a factor.
Like at all. But yeah. Falcons, Buccaneers. My guy Baker Mayfield loses again. I'm now losing more faith in Baker Mayfield every week that he starts losing. I knew it was too good to be true. Falcons win 16-13 on the last second field goal from Younghoe Koo. Desmond Ridder had an alright game, 19 for 25, 250 yards. No interceptions, no touchdowns though. I believe he had a rushing touchdown. Baker Mayfield went 27 for 42, 225 yards, a touchdown, and interception. Mike Evans, 6 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown. So, low scoring game. Bucks really weren't able to get anything going. They fall to 3-3, and the Falcons go to 4-3 on the season so far. Not much to say about that game for me, really. Bucks.
I've noticed a pattern with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. If you're a run ball or run controlled offense, and you got a pretty decent defense, they struggle.
Mm-hmm.
All three of their losses have came against teams that control the ball by running and have a pretty decent defense.
Mm-hmm.
So the teams that air out the balls, the teams that the Bucks have better running percentage against. And like I said, if you're a ground and pound team, you basically are going to force the Bucks to struggle, which is odd because the Bucks supposedly are one of the best run stopping teams in the league. So that makes no sense.
Let's see. How many rushing yards? Falcons had 156 rushing yards. The Bucks only had 73 rushing yards as a team. All right, next game, Raiders and Bears. I mean, again, this is the battle of the backups. Mostly the career game for D'Onta Foreman. He had 3 total touchdowns. But Ryan Hoyer went 17 for 32, 129 yards and 2 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, sit game. Devontae Adams, after his public statement about he needs the ball for them to be successful, he had 7 receptions for 57 yards. Tyson Bagnan.
Wait. I want to make sure y'all heard you say that correctly. Did you say 7 receptions for 57 yards?
Yes.
What the fuck was he throwing them? Screen passes?
I think so. Yeah, out of Hoyer's 17 completions, 7 of them went to Adams. 7 went to Adams. Jacoby Myers had another 7. Zamir White had 3. Austin Hooper had 2. Trey had 2. Hunter Renfrow had 2. Jacobs had 1. Yeah, that's an average of 8.1 yards a catch. Yeah, 7 receptions for 57 yards. Tyson Bagnan, 21 for 29, 162 yards and a touchdown. D'Onta Foreman, 16 carries, 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. And again, he had a receiving touchdown on top of that. So a career game for D'Onta. The Bears really needed it. The Bears, a little bit of 2-game win streak. They're now 2-5. Raiders fall to 3-4. Kind of surprising game.
Not to mention that's Hoyer's 13th straight loss as a fucking quarterback.
Yep, not picking the Raiders next week. That's for damn sure. I mean, Jimmy G might be back. They don't know yet.
I hope so.
Now this game, again, as you're the shootout of the day, 39-38. Browns beat the Colts. Was not expecting this kind of a game in this one. Yes, Watson did come back again. He got injured pretty much after taking 1 hit. It was Gardner Minshew, not Anthony Richardson. And this game was a very high-scoring game. Philip Walker, he had 178 yards and interception. Jerome Ford actually ended up leaving the game. He had 11 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. Amari Cooper was somewhat just not there for a lot of the game. Just not involved. Minshew had 305 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Jonathan Taylor had a good game, 18 carries, 75 yards and a touchdown. And Josh Downs had 5 receptions for 125 yards and a touchdown. Michael Pittman had 2 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I was watching that game, and for some reason, PJ Walker wouldn't even look at Amari Cooper's direction. And I think he threw like 2 passes to him. I think one of them was picked off.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't know why he wasn't looking towards him, especially considering the injuries that the Colts have had in the secondary. Cooper could have lit him up.
Yeah.
If he just looked at him. But luckily, Myles Garrett, he was a beast.
Oh yeah, he was. He was all over the field today.
I remember watching the game. They're saying, "Then the Colts really got Myles Garrett on the wraps right now." Yep, jumped over the line, blocks a field goal.
Yep. Yeah, he had a.
I'm like, are you serious? Who opened your mouth? Why would you open your mouth and jinx that shit?
Yeah, he had a blocked field goal, 2 forced fumbles. He probably a few sacks. Like, he was all over the place. And Kareem Hunt had 2 touchdowns also. He was also injured actually coming into this game. All right. This game, the Commanders and the Giants, 7-14. Should be 2 wins in a row, if you're asking me, for the Giants. But I
agree.
They finally get a win against the Commanders. They made the Commanders look not good at all on offense. They were all over the field on defense. Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams had a blocked field goal. Okereke was all over the field today. He was really good. I like Okereke. He's really good for you guys.
Yes, he was a great signing.
He's been really good. Any Giants game that's on, I hear Okereke nearly every other play on defense. Like, he's everywhere for you guys. You guys were getting to the Commanders, or to Sam Howell. You guys were sacking him like crazy. You guys had 5 coming into the game all season. You guys had like 6 today. So, whose offensive line sucks now? Still, the Giants' offensive line sucks, but
we just have that basically that we have the Commanders' numbers. I'm sorry, I hate to say
it. Yeah. Waller was actually part of the offense. He had 7 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. Parker had 21 carries for 7 yards. He actually had an injury scare. He hurt his his left arm, one of his arms, in the first half, and that was scary. But then he got it all taped up, and he was all good to go. Tyrod Taylor, he's looked really good in 2 starts. I mean, I do have a question for you. 18 for 29, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. When Deion Jones gets healthy, who would you rather, I don't know, on the field, Jones or Taylor?
Honestly?
Yes.
Taylor.
Okay. Because I would too. The offense looks so much better with him out there. The team looks better.
I mean, granted, last week, he had his mistakes, but the offense looked more fluent.
Mm-hmm. You guys were moving it, at least.
Exactly. And with Taylor, he's looking to pass the ball, not just get out of the pocket and take off running. I mean, yeah, granted, the offensive line is still not, it's patchwork right now. After, officially signing Justin Pugh.
Right off the couch.
Just off the couch. 53-man rock. I love that one.
Justin Pugh. Just on the couch. Just off the couch. One of the best Sunday Night Football intros ever for a player. Ever. Justin Pugh. Just off the couch.
The offense just looks more fluent. He's getting the ball to all the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, basically focused on one receiver, which is Daniel Jones' biggest thing is he locks onto one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And then the defense knows where he's going with the ball.
The big thing I like with Tyrod Taylor, he takes chances with the deep ball. Hyatt, he threw it to Hyatt like 3 or 4 different times on the same route, just to take a chance down the field, just to get a big play. They had like 7 plays of 20-plus yards today.
Yeah, because he knows that in order to get the running, because they're going to load up the box against Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Every team does that. So he knows to get Barkley some running room, he's going to have to get those safeties back it up. The linebackers holding in the middle of the field to see where if it's going to be a run or a pass. So, yeah, he's going to take the shot down the field because if you see the safeties creeping up, that means it's going to be one-on-one. And the Giants do have speed on the outside as receivers.
Yeah, Hyatt is a quick guy. Hyatt is quick. Like, he can get separation.
So can Slayton.
Mm-hmm. Waller can too.
Waller can. Robinson can. I mean, they all can. I mean, I'm coming to terms that signing Paris Campbell might have been a mistake. But other than that, I mean, the receiving core, if you give them a chance, they get them the ball. They can make stuff happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Robinson is great after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would rather keep Tyrod Taylor as a starting quarterback over Daniel Jones.
Yeah, me, Owen, and Will were talking about this during the game. Caleb Williams could get picked first in the upcoming draft, and the Panthers are right now 0-6. I don't think they pick Caleb Williams, even if he were to go number one. Giants right now, I believe, are the second worst record in the league. Could the Giants pick Caleb Williams? If they do get high up in the draft, would they just move on from Daniel Jones, even though they gave him that big contract and now he's stuck? And now they're stuck with it for a decent amount of time, unless a team wants to actually get that.
Yes, that is a lot of money. And there is an issue with Caleb Williams that I am not liking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if anybody heard that one of his demands now for him getting in the NFL and getting drafted is that the team that drafts him has to give him a stake in the franchise.
With how he's playing recently?
So yeah, that's one of his demands for being drafted is that whoever drafts him has to give him a stake in the franchise.
Good luck.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't agree Caleb will be a good fit for the Giants either.
No. Lefty from Washington. Who's that? Escaped my mind who that lefty from Washington is. Because I feel like I should know that.
Now it's going to drive me nuts.
What is that?
This is going to pop in our heads eventually.
I'm looking up now because I can't. But we were watching the game, and there was some plays that surprised me. That Sterling Shepard, he dropped the punt there. Michael Penix Jr. That's who the quarterback is. Michael Penix.
Cold weather is 90% of USC's quarterback kryptonite, which is true. The Giants need to also give Jamison Williams a chance at punt return. No, Jamison Crowder. Sorry.
Jamison Williams.
I was thinking of the Lions. They need to give Crowder a chance at returns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand he wants to. I understand the Giants want to get Eric Gray comfortable and doing returns, but you also have to do what's best for your team.
Mm.
Putting a rookie back there that's not comfortable doing returns is not what's going to be best for your team. Put a veteran back there that's, so he can learn from that veteran. That's what you have veterans for.
Yeah, because that rookie ended up getting hurt, and that's what made Sterling Shepard have to go and do the punt returning. And then he fumbled it, and it gave him a short field, and then they scored off of that. Exactly. Saquon fumbled at in the fourth quarter, which led to them driving down the field towards the end of the game. And the play that pissed Will off the most is that Kayvon Thibodeau had probably a walk-in pick six, and he dropped it. Like, it was such an easy pick that could have led to six either by himself or the offense, but he didn't catch it. But it didn't cost you guys the game. You guys won anyway, 7-14. Guess what, Commanders? Giants go to 2-5. Commanders fall down to 3-4. Oh, the two games that are going to get talked about the most, back to back.
Oh boy.
The Lions get their asses whooped. Sorry, Dakota, but
sorry, Lion fans in general.
Yes, Lions get their asses whooped 6-38 by the Baltimore Ravens. Not saying that the Ravens, yes, they're a good team, but as Mion and Tony like to call them, they're the most inconsistent good team we've ever seen. And I think the Bills are second now. That the Bills are the most inconsistent team also.
Well, the Bills' issue is, and we'll get to them, is they play down to their opponents.
Mm-hmm. And then it cost them games.
But as far as the Ravens, that is one of the things that we got going on this show is we constantly, especially when we do our weekly picks, we constantly ask ourselves, which Raven team is going to show up? Is it going to be the ones that showed up today, or the ones that showed up against your Steelers where they can't catch the fucking ball?
Yep.
So, I mean...
What Lamar Jackson are we going to get? Are we going to get the running back Lamar Jackson, or are we going to get the quarterback that wants to throw the ball Lamar Jackson?
Exactly.
Because he had a great game throwing the ball. Holy God. 21 for 27, 357 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and seriously, because I watched the first, I guess you would say 10 minutes when it turned to 14-0. And the whole time, he wasn't, even under pressure, he wasn't looking to run. Yeah, he had a couple of escapes to not get sacked, but he stayed in the pocket to get the ball downfield. And there was some darts that he threw. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't realize his arm was that damn good.
I mean, we don't see it every week. Gus Edwards had a good game, 14 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. Jared Goff did not look like the Jared Goff that we know and we've come to know on the Detroit Lions. 33 for 53, 284 yards, and an interception. Jahmyr Gibbs had a rushing touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 13 receptions for 102 yards. But it's more about the Ravens here. Zay Flowers had 4 receptions for 75 yards. Yeah. Mark Andrews had 2 touchdowns on 4 receptions for 63 yards. So they were getting it to everyone. Bateman had 2 catches. Odell had 5 catches. Aguilar had a catch. Kenton Mitchell had a catch. Justice Hill had a catch. Gus George had an 80-yard catch. So they were spreading the wealth, and they locked up the Detroit Lions explosive offense. Lions fall to 5-2, and the Baltimore Ravens go to 5-2. I need the Ravens to start slowing down here. The Steelers they're going to keep up. All right, I need the whole division to slow it down, relax, take it easy. The Steelers not going to keep up. Anything else on that game? I mean, again, just probably one of the two most shocking games of the week.
Pretty much no. I didn't
expect them to lose that bad if they were to lose.
I was stunned that there was only much, especially with that offense, the Lions have only mustered 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
So you could tell they missed Montgomery. You could tell that the suspension is having has its effect on Williams. Because there was one where, the ball might have been a little bit short, but the ball still hit his hands. And if he would have caught it, he could have rolled right in for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was maybe the team forgot they playing the Baltimore Ravens and thought, which Raven team is showing up.
Mm-hmm.
They could just waltz through it, but that was a horrible game by the Lions today.
Yeah, and almost like Dakota said earlier, they're bound to have a bad game. They're having a fantastic season. They could be they could have been undefeated right now going into this game 6-0. They only lost to the Seahawks in overtime. They've had a fantastic season so far. So I think we can kind of just give them it was a bad week. Just bad week offense, bad week on defense. Go into next week, it's a new week. Just a terrible week in general for them.
But I also know the biggest issue that when I was watching the game was the Lions corners was playing way off the receivers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're worried about their speed and just going by them. So that's probably why.
And so they was basically hitting everything short, and then now their corners have to come up to try to make the tackle. By then, the receiver already got a nice head start running.
Mm-hmm. All right, the second shocking game of the day, which we're gonna have a fun little bit about. The Bills lose to the Patriots 25-29, and we are not going to have to slew on Mac Jones this week. If you're just tuning in, Mac Jones, the past, I don't know how many weeks, we had a topic last week of him being on the hot seat, okay? He played really good today against a pretty good Bills defense. Yes, they are banged up. Ed Oliver didn't play again today. They have a bunch of injuries in secondary. They have injuries at linebacker. Mac Jones had 5 incompletions the entire game. He went 25 for 30, 272 yards, and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions, nothing from him. Kendrick Bourne, 6 receptions, 63 yards, and touchdown.
First off, let me start by saying congratulations to Bill Belichick for his 300th career win as a head coach. He's only the 3rd coach in NFL history to have 300 career wins. So, congratulations to you, sir. You're still trash, but
yeah, he's still garbage. He's sorry. Congrats, but the team still sucks.
Yeah.
Going into halftime, it was 13-3, and that was shocking. And then the Bills scored 22 in the second half, lose the game on a last-second touchdown from Jones to Mike Gesicki, which won the game with 15 or 12 seconds left. Josh Allen,
National Tight Ends Day. Who the fuck came up with this shit?
I think George Kittle actually might have.
National Tight Ends Day. Fuck out of here with this dumb shit.
Oh. Yeah, well, Mac Jones is trash, yes. Garbage.
If anybody has followed our podcast since the beginning, at least the beginning of the season, you would know how we all feel about Mac Jones.
Oh yeah, that's why I led off with his stats and the fact that we don't have to make fun of him this week. I think he might be tuning in. Someone might have sent it to him and been like, "They're talking about you every week, and you need to do something, please." And they did it right against the right team. And we'll talk about the Bills now. They play down to the competition, like you said, and then it cost them games. It almost cost them the game on Sunday night against against the Giants. I think you guys could have easily won that. Again, you guys just kicked that field goal at the end of the first half, and I think you guys win the game. And now this game they lose, so they could actually be 4-4 or 3-4. Yeah, they could be 3-4. So I don't know what it is with them, why they do it so often, and they play down to their competition. I mean, it's just going to hurt them. Like, to go to 4-3, you have the Dolphins in the division that are red hot right now. I mean, yes, they did beat them, but other than that, the Dolphins have looked really good this year. The Jets, they're surprisingly still doing all right with all those injuries. Yep, pretty much. With all the injuries, they're still actually not doing too bad. And then the Patriots, who are 2-5. But the Bills, I don't like. You can't. To me, there's no way you should have lost this game at all. I can mention the injuries on the defensive end. You're going against a team that lost 35-0, or like in the past 2 games, it was like 70-something to 6. Like, they're not scoring the ball at all, and you give up 29 points to them. Bills need to figure something out to somewhat just win the rest of the regular season, because if they don't, if they keep dropping games like this, they're in jeopardy of not even making the playoffs at some point. That's how. But yeah, I don't know what it is with the Bills. Like, they just play down to their competition so much. Like, we think that the Eagles do it a lot, but the Bills have done it now 2 weeks in a row.
I mean, the only difference between when the Eagles do it and when the Bills do it is, at least when the Eagles do it, the Eagles still win.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Eagles might look ugly doing it because they get bored, but yeah, when the Bills do it, it's I don't even know what to call it. It's just a horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they haven't even hit Kansas City, Philadelphia. I mean, they play bad against bad teams and they play good against good teams. I mean, I don't get it. Just play Bills football. Don't play one way against someone and then something else.
Damn Jets fans, here we go.
They're on a bye this week. They need it. But like, it was just like, I saw that kicker on the bottom of the screen. Like, they're losing still, and I'm like, still losing. They gave up 6.6 yards per play against the Patriots. 96 rushing yards. Like, time of possession was 5 minutes in the favor of the Bills. They were 5 for 12 on third down were the Bills. I don't know. Just, it was a collapse or just a mental lapse. I mean, the defense gave up that game-winning drive to Mac Jones. So I don't know if we should be talking about more about Josh Allen in the offense or the Bills in the defense. But again, I can mention all the injuries that they have on that defense, but I don't think it makes it any good of an excuse to lose to Mac Jones on a game-winning drive.
There is no excuse. No, Dallas hasn't played Buffalo yet.
No.
That game, I believe, is in a couple of weeks. I know they're scheduled to play each other this season.
No, yeah, they are. Jesus, the Bills. So here's their schedule: the Bucks, the Bengals, the Broncos, the Jets, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and then the Cowboys on the 17th of December.
Oh, right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is disgusting schedule. That's a growth schedule. Other than the Broncos, they should definitely beat. And the Jets, they should definitely beat this time. Should. But then in the Bucks, I feel like they should beat. Sorry, Baker, but yeah, that's a tough schedule. So that's why I'm saying you can't lose games like this, because then it jeopardizes your playoff chances. It really does. You need to win games that you should win, and when you don't, it really affects you.
Not so much your playoff chances. It also jeopardize your playoff seeding.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, you want everybody to have to go through Buffalo. If you're Buffalo, you want them to come to your field if they've got to make it to the Super Bowl. You can't do that if you're dropping games to. I can't even call the Patriots a subpar team. They're below that.
They're a shit team. If you want to be honest, they're garbage.
I mean, like Raheem said, they're trash.
Yeah, they are trash. The entire team.
Complete trash.
I mean, unless they surprise people, yeah, I mean, they might just barely squeak into the playoffs with that schedule coming up. All right.
I can honestly see Diggs at the end of the season saying he wants out of there.
I'm done with him. I'm done with Allen. I mean, they've had issues the past couple of years as far as getting along and on the same page.
Exactly. And so, this doesn't help.
No. When you're losing to the Patriots, that doesn't help.
Yeah, 0-3 is bad juju.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended, Juju.
Yeah, speaking of Juju, he didn't even play for the Patriots today. Juju was out for the Patriots. So was one wide receiver on the field, and they still couldn't stop anyone. I mean, I feel like they could beat Dallas. Philly, probably not. Kansas City, no.
I mean, as much as we hate Dallas, I honestly think they can't beat Dallas.
I just don't know what Dak we're going to get. Are we going to get the turnover Dak? Or are we going to get the actual pass accuracy throwing Dak? And because we'd never know. I mean...
And wait, that game is in, you said December?
Yeah, December 17th.
Oh, so yeah, we're going to get Christmas Dak.
You can get all gifts.
For those of you who don't know what Christmas Dak is, basically, he's just going to give you an interception. Guaranteed.
Not one, not two, but maybe three. They'll be handing out gifts around Christmas time. All right. These next games are going to go pretty quick. Cardinals, Seahawks. I mean, Seahawks easily won this game, 10-20. Probably could have been more. But I mean, again, the Cardinals have been playing pretty much everyone tough, which is, I mean, they're 1-6, but they're one of the best 1-6 teams I've probably seen.
What, they're going to end in the tie for what, most interceptions?
Yeah. Yeah, Allen will be like, no, take it. I don't want it. I want Dak. Dobbs didn't have a great game. Geno Smith went 18 for 24, 219 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, he had 26 carries for 105 yards. Jackson Smith and Njigba had 4 receptions for 63 yards and a touchdown. So Seahawks go to 4-2. Cardinals fall to 1-6. Anything on that game, really, Tony? Not much.
I just want to I think we need to seriously start giving credit to Geno Smith.
Mm.
And basically some of it to Pete Carroll as well. DK got hurt last week.
I mean, he's been dinged up the past couple weeks going in.
Yeah.
But like as me and you said, as I said earlier, DK had a rib injury the past couple weeks, but he's been playing through it. And then he had a hip injury also. And I heard also Pete Carroll's trying to get across to him to limit his penalties. He's leading the NFL right now in penalties as a wide receiver. That's unacceptable. And it's mostly after the play penalties. Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, anything along those lines is a large part of his penalties. So that's probably just a precaution. DK doesn't normally sit out, but I think the trainer's like, no, you're sitting out for this game, especially against the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think Geno's mid. I think he had a great season last year. He's having a pretty decent season this year. So, I mean, I think he's doing exactly what they're paying him to do, is win games.
Can we call him a game manager? Sure. He's basically managing the game so they don't lose.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing a great job at it. I mean, let's give the man credit. I mean, he's been bounced around from Timbuktu to God's nowhere, and nobody even expected him to even be a starting quarterback ever again.
No.
And so, I mean, Geno Smith will he ever lead a team to the Super Bowl? Probably not. Let's be realistic. I don't see that. If they're going to win a Super Bowl, it won't be because of Geno Smith.
No.
It's going to be because of their offense and their defense. It won't be saying because of Smith. Oh, no, I never said you said he was trash. We're just saying that, we're just saying let's put some respect on a man's name and give him credit.
I'm impressed with what he's done.
He's doing a good job of basically keeping the team in the playoff race.
Yeah, because Rams are pretty good this year. Again, Cardinals, they're no threat to anyone. They're somewhat keeping up with the Niners. That's what they brought him in for. I believe is what they brought him in for, was to just keep pace with the Niners, make the playoffs every year, and it's a successful season. And that's exactly what he's doing for them right now. Like when he signed there, I think of Geno Smith. I think of his time on the Jets where he was not that great, and I was like, I don't really see the Seahawks doing much. But again, as you pointed to, Pete Carroll also, a lot of credit to Pete Carroll. He made Russell Wilson, the quarterback that Russell Wilson we saw, do what he did in Seattle. Now we see Russell Wilson, yes, this year he's a lot better than last year, but he's not the same Russell Wilson as when he was with Pete Carroll. Geno's impressed us as far as the production that he has given under Pete Carroll. And again, I think it just speaks to Pete Carroll's greatness as a coach, to be able to coach these quarterbacks.
Yeah, I completely agree.
All right. Last 3 games, Steelers beat the Rams 24-17.
Congratulations to your Steelers.
Yeah. Again, I picked them in the pick'em to not even know. I didn't expect them to even win it. I was just picking them because Steelers. I guess, yeah, sure, I'll pick them. Kenny Pickett, 230 passing yards, no touchdowns. Najee Harris had a touchdown, 14 carries for 53 yards. George Pickens had 5 receptions for 107 yards. Puka Nacua had 8 receptions for 154 yards. Really good. Matthew Stafford, 14 receptions for 29 yards. 14 receptions for 14 for 29 for 231 yards and touchdown interception. Wow. Jaylen Warren had a rushing touchdown also. Kenny Pickett had a rushing touchdown. And TJ Watt had a defensive touchdown. He had an interception. Oh, no, he's had an interception.
So, yeah, I am regretting, not picking your Steelers. But like I said, I just...
That offense, man.
It's not even your offense; it's your offense coordinator. Because you pretty much almost have almost the same players as last year.
All right, that's a good question. I like the question. I like Harris. I can't put his struggles on him fully. Offensive line sucks. Like, really bad. Like, the top 3 worst right now are 4 or 5. Patriots, Giants, Commanders, Steelers, and there's no team thrown in there. Our offensive line can't pass block. They can't run block. So I don't want to put his struggles on him. Yes, he had a good game today. But, Jaylen Warren, when he does run the ball behind the same line, Warren does look a lot better than Najee Harris. I will definitely say that. Yes, years in the offense, and I think it. I don't want to move on from him because he's young talent. Another back. Again, I like Warren and what he's been able to do. Harris, as a 1, I don't know. Because, he's been a 1 ever since he got there, and he just hasn't really performed. But again, I can't really put that on him. It's the offensive line doesn't help either.
I also have a theory on that. Last year they was running a completely different running scheme. This year I think they're trying to run like traps and stuff, and that's not Harris's strong point.
Mm-hmm.
He's he's a gap runner between gap A and gap B, straight ahead.
Yeah.
All that trap and backdoor, that's not his game. And I'm sorry, but Matt Canada, yeah. I'm gonna let that be a rant for you.
In this offense currently constructed, no, I would probably rather Warren as a running back 1, because I do like Warren. I think he's a great young back that we have. But Najee, yes, we drafted him highly, and I understand why we keep using him. Get rid of Canada. Like we were cheering finally from the Giants fans there at MetLife Stadium today. And the only cheering the Steelers fans do is when they cheer Fire Canada.
No, I wouldn't say Najee Harris is a bust.
No. I wouldn't say he's a bust.
He's he's not being used properly by Canada. That offensive coordinator has no clue what the fuck he's doing. He's been chased out of everywhere he's been.
Out of LSU, out of this place, out of that place. He needs
to be chased out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of him as an offensive coordinator. He needs to go.
We had a total of 86 rushing yards today. 86 rushing yards on the entire afternoon. 300 total yards as a team.
And that's not Pittsburgh football. Nowhere near.
And we won. You're not going to beat teams only having 300 yards total offense. You're just not. But we were lucky to win. Yeah, he was a high pick, but like Tony said, he's not being utilized to his strengths with this current offensive scheme that we're running. Like, it's one of the most predictable schemes that you could ever find in the NFL.
Yeah, that offensive scheme is trash.
All right, moving on. The Chargers lose to the Chiefs 17-31. I mean, I kind of thought it was going to be a closer game. Chargers fell to 2-4, unfortunately. Justin Herbert had 2 interceptions, only 1 touchdown. Josh Kelly had a touchdown. Joshua Palmer, 5 receptions for 133 yards. Mahomes had 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. He threw for 424 yards. Yeah. Going back on the Steelers first game, yes. He's going to get frustrated. He's going to want out. He's going to not have confidence in himself. You're absolutely right. That's why, yes, we won, but I would still get rid of Canada with no problem, because it's not an offense that throws fear into any defense. Really, it doesn't. I don't think it does. There's no fear factor for the defense to worry about right now with our offense.
I'm going to put it this way, Raheem. I could put together 11 people to play defense against that defense with that offense, and I guarantee you we'll get about 4 or 5 picks because that offense is so predictable.
Well, we're going to run it on a 1st and 2nd down and get a total of 3 yards. And then it's going to be 3rd and 7, and it's going to be a 3 and out. All right, punt it.
Exactly.
That's what happens on 90% of our possessions is we run on the first 2 plays, 3 and out. See ya. All right. Yeah. Fire Canada. Back on the Chiefs. Travis Kelce, 12 receptions for 179 yards and 1 touchdown. Taylor Swift must be happy. That's all I'm going to mention about her, because I can't really say.
You got to bring her name up in this. She's forbidden from being mentioned on this podcast.
Understood, or I'm going to get a leave of absence soon. The reason why we haven't fired him is because Mike Tomlin's very loyal to his coaches. That's just how they've always been in that organization. They're very loyal to each other, and that's why they don't get rid of people too often. So that's why they haven't yet. But I mean, I'm sure if it were up to the fans, he would have been kicked out probably a long time ago.
Definitely.
All right, last game of the week, and now we have the Dolphins Eagles starting. Packers lose to the Broncos 17-19. Packers, I picked you in the pick'em, and I don't understand why you lose when I pick you, but then you win when I don't. It's just not funny. Russell Wilson, he went 20 for 29, 194 yards and a touchdown. Javonte Williams, he was back. He had 15 carries for 82 yards. Cortland Sutton had 6 receptions for 76 yards and touchdown. Packers offense was not great. Jordan Love had 2 touchdown passes. A.J. Dillon led the team in carries with 15 carries for 61 yards. Denver improves to 2-5, and the Packers go to 2-4 on this young season.
I have nothing on that game. That was painful to watch.
Yeah, just no. Broncos are just garbage. The Packers should have won. That's what I get for picking a young quarterback, right? That's what I get. Jerry Jeudy. Let's see. He's not injured anymore. He had 5 receptions for 64 yards for him. That's not a bad game. That's a 12.8 average. per reception. Yeah, Russ had no right game. I mean, under 200 yard passing, but they got the win. So I guess that's all that matters.
Hell no.
All right, that's it. Again, Eagles and Dolphins are playing right now, and then we have the Niners and the Vikings tomorrow night.
Yeah, the Dolphins are already down 3-0.
It's still early. Did they get the ball yet or no? Or was that the Eagles' first drive?
Eagles' first drive.
Okay. So yeah, I just think that the Eagles or that the Dolphins tear up that secondary of the Eagles that are banged up really bad right now. All right, here's my favorite time of the week.
Pick'ems.
Yep.
Let me get my screen up. And get to the right week. All right, I'm all set.
All right. Buccaneers, Bills.
Fuck. Here we go.
As much as I just talked on the Bills, I pick the Bills. Sorry, Baker, you've looked terrible recently. The Bills, I just think that they're back at home in Bills Mafia on a primetime game. I think that the Bills show out after this horrible performance. It's a short week. That's fresh in their head. They're going to play really hard against the Bucs.
I don't. Yeah, I'm guessing we'll pick the Bills as well.
All right, Rams, Cowboys. Cowboys come off their bye. The Rams come off a loss to the Steelers today. I'm going Rams. I can't pick the Cowboys. I can't do it.
I think after this loss, I think the Rams they're going to be in the mood.
And I think maybe the Cowboys are just going to have too much rest coming off that bye week. So I think maybe the Rams should take advantage of having fresh legs or the legs of people who have actually played recently. The Vikings and the Packers.
Oh.
I'm not picking Jordan Love again. I'm just going with the Vikings. Every time I pick him, he loses. Every time I don't, he wins. So he's going to win next week. So that's why I'm just going to pick the Vikings because that's just his thing. He likes to win when I don't pick him.
I'm going to pick the Packers. I know I'm going to regret it, but...
All right, Atlanta Falcons, Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill is probably going to be out, I believe.
What's the status on Robinson again?
He just, I want to say it was a stomach issue. He just wasn't feeling well, and he has a whole week to feel better. So, I mean, I'm going to say he's probably going to be back. If we get the Ritter who doesn't want to throw interceptions all the time, I do think it could be a Falcons win against Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going to still ride the Falcons.
Right, Saints, Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that Colts defense has been looking pretty good.
Yeah,
the offense is starting to come around as well. Yeah. But you got Minshew as the quarterback.
He's not a terrible quarterback. He had 2 rushing touchdowns.
He's not. My thing is, if it turns into a shootout, my question is, well, how's Derek Carr's shoulder? Is that still?
I believe he's fully healthy because he fully played on Thursday night against the Jags.
I'm gonna take the Saints.
I'm gonna take the Colts.
Oh, this is the no-brainer.
Don't do it to me 2 weeks in a row, New England. Please don't. Patriots versus the Dolphins. Or the Dolphins. I have picked. Ooh.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, Ron.
The defense of the Jets scares me, but I like how your team altogether has looked. And I don't trust Zach Wilson.
My thing is, Daniel Jones going to be back?
Yeah.
Because I'd rather have Tyrod Taylor playing than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I will change it to the Jets if Daniel Jones plays. But I'm picking the Giants.
Hell, I might change it to the Jets if Daniel Jones plays.
Again, with how your team has looked against the Bills and now the Commanders with Tyrod Taylor, yeah, I'll pick the Giants just because they've looked a lot better, and the offense of the Jets scares me. I don't know what offense is really going to play, and I don't trust Zach Wilson at all. All right, one of the most inconsistent teams in the league, the Jacksonville Jaguars, 2-5-2, playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. In Pittsburgh, again, Jags play good on the road for some reason.
Yes, they do. And that's what bothers me, because I seriously feels like Pittsburgh can beat Jacksonville, but again, fucking your offensive coordinator.
I gotta pick them just because like if it was an obvious, like they're playing the Chiefs, I obviously wouldn't pick the Steelers, but it's a game that I feel like we can win if we execute our offense correctly. That's the main key. And again, with the Jags being so good on the road, it is actually tough to pick the Steelers with us at home.
Yeah, that's why I gotta go with them.
Okay. Eagles and Commanders. Owen, sorry. Oh, the Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles.
Look at this game. Oh, Texans and the Panthers.
Oh, I'm going with the Texans.
I know, but just sorry, Panthers, you're going to come off your bye. Well, I mean, they're actually both going to come off their bye week. They're going to both come off their bye week, and the Texans are going to destroy the Panthers. Oh, my goodness. The battle of the top picks at quarterback.
I mean, we got to be crazy to go against C.J. Stroud now. We should know by now.
All right. Cleveland Browns, Seattle Seahawks.
Whew.
This is tough because we were just giving Geno his props, but now he's going against a really good defense. Yes, who did give up 38 points today, but is a really good defense.
My question is, who's going to be quarterbacking for the Browns?
That's a valid question, and their running back health, because Ford went out with an injury, Kareem Hunt was questionable even going in with an injury, but he did play. I'm going to go with the Seahawks somewhat just because they're at home.
Yeah, trust me, I've been in that stadium with that 12th man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that stadium does get loud and it does rock.
Yeah, so yeah, it doesn't matter with Watson, with PJ Walker. I don't really care who's quarterback. I don't know if they can beat the Seahawks with that 12th man right behind them.
Because that is a hard stadium to play in.
Mm-hmm. All right. This is easy. Kansas City, then Broncos. Kansas City. Really?
Oh, shit. I wasn't paying attention.
I was like, all right, that's his take of the week or take of the year. Yep. Broncos get one win. They're beating the Chiefs.
That will not be my upset pick of the year. Trust me.
Ravens, Cardinals.
I'm taking Ravens.
Yeah. After what they did this week, yes. The Niners, Bengals. Bengals can come off their bye and get smacked by the Niners. Again, no Debo. I don't think that really leads to be a problem for the Niners. Right, next Sunday night, the Bears and the Chargers. That is a snooze fest right there. Again, I'm gonna almost guarantee there's gonna be no Justin Fields. Roschon Johnson may be back. Again, Herbert's on IR. Chargers just have more on both sides of the ball right now.
You know, you don't think I'm crazy.
You're gonna pick the Bears.
Because, I mean, Justin Fields is still out. And the way the backup quarterback has been playing, and he has actually been getting the receivers the ball. I'm going to make that my upset pick of the week.
You're picking the Bears. Okay. Yes, the Chargers defense is not great. So the Bears, even with a backup, could really, really beat the Chargers team on Sunday football. And this Monday night game, Raiders and Lions. Lions come back after a shit week this week. They destroy the Raiders.
Yeah,
they beat
that shit out of them.
They're gonna smack the living shit out of them on national television. They're going to destroy them. And the point total, I'm gonna put 74. I don't know.
Ooh.
I feel like Lions put up like 55 or something, and then
that'd be
the
crazy.
Raiders just put up like 19 or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'll just put 74. And that's it. That was it.
Yeah, I put the total points as 40.
What? 40-0?
Exactly.
Oh.
Wait, no. 37-3.
Oh, well, that's being nice. I mean, the Lions just lost, 36-3 or something? So
the Lions are not going to be a happy bunch next week.
No, they're going to be there to destroy the Raiders on Monday Night Football. Make sure that the whole league is watching to do it too.
Exactly. Well, that concludes our podcast.
That was a longer one, fucking hour and 49 minutes.
Well, we've had longer than that. We've had
no.
2 hours.
I know, but the ones that are 2 hours, we already had debates in. This one was just us ranting, you about Roger Goodell. us about the Lions, the Patriots, the Bills, a bunch of stuff covered in this podcast.
All right, buddy. The ending credits is yours today.
Yes, it is.
Last week.
Yep. All right. Thank you all for watching. We enjoy any support that you guys give. All the comments. Raheem, thank you. My dad, thank you. And Dakota, new commenter, new viewer, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you guys all for watching. For Big Time Tony, I've been Dope Ass Chef. Tune in next week. See you guys.